What is the wonderful word, everybody? This is your man's the one. That is the big man in the middle, Storm, and this is the state of basketball. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? Just, I guess I had my turn with the battle of COVID this past week. Through the New Year's, it kind of sucked. I was in the bed, but I'm feeling better now. Just got back actually from taking a test, so hopefully that comes back negative. I can get back to work and keep this thing rolling, though. Just blessed for the fact that it wasn't that bad. Now, I was vaccinated, so hopefully that helped, but I had no breathing issues.
That is a saving grace. Well, I don't know if it's a saving grace or a grace of God. However you look at it, it's still a blessing. We're happy to see that you have made it through. Not everybody is as fortunate, as lucky as you have been, and our good friend the Lion has been. The both of you guys have, went through the battle of the vid the last few weeks. So I know I want to call him Sean, but Tommy Boy is what everybody knows him here on the network. I know Tommy Boy and I went through it more last year. I went through it before the vaccine. You
Right.
went through it after the vaccine. I wasn't as affected as bad as, other members in the household or people around. But, man, it's a real deal. And I think I read something earlier that the Delta and the Omicron have merged together.
They done got together?
Yeah. And they're calling it Deltacron.
Hey, man, this is starting to sound like some Autobots and Decepticons here in a minute.
Hey, it sounded really crazy. I don't know. The good thing that I hear about it is it could be generating a thing called the herd immunity, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So who knows, man, because I think the Omicron spread faster, but
Right.
as wasn't a hard of a hit to the body as the Delta was.
Right.
So now that you put them together, you got the hard hit and the fast moving. Hey, man, I don't know.
All right. We just want to make sure everyone's still practicing social distancing, washing them hands. I'm not going to say anything else other than that because that's about all I can say on that because I know how some people believe. But definitely social distance and wash your hands.
Oh, I thought you were going to say safe sex.
Well, safe sex in general.
Yeah, the wife says like every time there's a new group of players on the team that get the virus, the wife says y'all need to stop passing around that same skank. I don't know, but other than that, it sounds like you had a decent weekend. You probably needed the rest anyway because you'd be on the move. Sometimes the body lets you know when you need to take a break. Sometimes it can be, just a tiredness, or sometimes it can say, hey, you need this to slow down a little bit. So glad you're back. Exciting weekend. As you can see, this is a basketball show, but, Big Ben is still doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Big Ben is still hanging on. It looks like we going to the playoffs. Sorry, Colts.
Yeah, I don't believe they got smashed. Like, smashed. That messed up my parlay. I knew that it wasn't going to be a 15-point win, but I did not think that they were going to lose.
This was a tough game for Indianapolis for the simple fact that it was on the road in Jacksonville division. Jacksonville always seems to find a way to mess up the Colts.
Yeah, I want to say they beat them like 5 games in a row or something. Like, I feel like it's starting to be a minute. Yeah,
at Jacksonville.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I always had a problem winning down there. Maybe y'all need to stop going to the club.
Right, man. It's too nice. What do you want to do? Like, it wasn't like Pittsburgh. They had freezing rain and cold.
Killing it. So, but yeah, I'm excited about that. But since it's basketball, I guess we'll try to curb it to that. A lot of exciting things going on this weekend that's happened last week, and a lot of unexciting things. Michigan women took a nasty loss earlier in the week to Nebraska, which is probably going to knock them out the top 10. They bounced back earlier today with a nice win over Rutgers. The Michigan men,
man, it was rough. I don't know. How do you feel about the game being suspended? I was almost like, well, maybe they need a minute. They need a minute.
Especially going against little brother, and little brother is ranked.
Yeah, you might need a minute just to gather your thoughts anyway.
Yeah, so I know football season is drawing to a close. and we're getting really into the good thick of basketball season. When we go to college, is all of the tournaments are out, all of the non-conference matchups that you would like to see are out, and now it's conference play. You know what I mean? When we turn over to the NBA, you know, you got a lot of the jitters out, you know, with some teams, and now you can figure out which teams are going to make positive playoff pushes and which teams are going to play around in the trade deadline and try to make moves, or who's just, you know what, let's get rid of people to start, you know, building for next year. We're hitting that part of the season. So not a whole lot to talk about NCAA other than the fact that, you know, Michigan's not playing well. IU girls are looking really good. But I think as the season, as now the weeks go on, we start to have those games, the conference games. I think we're going to get more of that. But what we want to talk about is this NBA faction that's going on. There's a lot going on in the league, bro.
Yeah.
And the top of the list.
Hold on. Before we do that, just we did not talk about, before we leave college, how about Miami taking out Duke? Charlie Moore seemed to shine for Miami. Oklahoma State taking out 14 Texas. Missouri, Alabama, take out Alabama at 15. Like, there's been a lot of top 15, 16 teams that took L's this past weekend.
Not really so much that they took L's, because, you know, with them being that far down in the rankings, I mean, no, being in the top 15 is still pretty high, but you're subject to more conference losses because of in conference. But I think not so much as the losses, it's the fact that you suffered losses to non-ranked opponents.
Definitely.
That's the bad one.
The Duke was huge.
But that was on the road, though. It wasn't in Cameron, was it?
I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was in Cameron. I think it was in Cameron. They might have lost by 20.
But all right, go ahead.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get that college out.
Yeah, there's a lot there, you know what I mean? But I think we're more interested right now in the NBA. The thing that, I mean, we could just start right off the bat. You know, I kind of want to start with some other stuff and have it filtered through. Yeah, before we get to that, let's just say it. Hands down to big applause to Becky Hammonds. My question for that, I know it's a nice job. I know it's a good move to be head coach of Vegas at the WNBA, but I've kind of feel she's settled.
Yeah, like she was supposed to be that one. Not that she still can't be, but I feel like, do you feel like her leaving the NBA hurts her chances in becoming an NBA coach, or you feel like that helps?
I don't know because, well, I guess you can add this. How many WNBA coaches have made the switch into the NBA?
How about any? Oh, you mean in any faction, not head coach, but just any role?
Like we heard coaches come from the G League.
Yeah,
we haven't heard. We've seen coaches come from the WNBA. I mean, the NBA go to the WNBA.
Yeah, we've seen that, but not the WNBA. But if there was a one, I feel like it would more than likely be her. But I just wonder if being out of that loop, you know, that small
conversation,
close knit job as coaches, like I don't know if that will hurt her or not, being out of that loop.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of think it was a settle. I think I mean, I don't know how much money they threw at her. I didn't really.
I think she's like the highest paid. I think
she's the highest paid.
Yeah,
yeah, she's the highest paid because you're gonna have to come off some cheese
right
to go grab her. You know what I'm saying? But she's walking into a very talented team. You got Liz Cambage, you know, the Australian hottie. I could say she's a hottie because she's hot. You know what I mean? I don't know if you on Instagram. Might want to follow her. She's off the chain. I'm not going to pay for your fans only. It's not that deep. But I mean, she got to be the most out there NBA player. Plus, she's like 6'8" in a bikini, bro. I don't know. She's got her there. I mean, it's a very good team she's going to, but I think she settled. I think her aspirations was to be a coach in the in the NBA. Now, I don't know if that was the assistant. Well, I'm a coach, so I'm assistant. I'm the highest paid assistant. I've been here forever, you know what I'm saying? Or is it, did you want to be an NBA coach? I think if you wanted to be that, I'd have stuck where I am. Papa's going to get you where you need to be. Like if you make that move over there, it kind of feels like you settled and you kind of just gave up.
I could see that perspective, but that money talks so well.
Zeros is zeros, bro.
Cool. And she could put that in her contract that she could leave out, if she gets that NBA nod for a head coach. So hopefully she put that in her contract and that won't, hurt her financially or anything like that. That's because kind of baked in the cake. So definitely looking forward to seeing her coaching style, being that head coach, although it be the WNBA, which we say over and over, it's the brand that they have is more of a technical to the game sport. So hopefully that'll help in that aspect. And then she makes it to the NBA. The athleticism part will be on top of knowing the game and knowing angles and plays and whatnot. That'll just make her that much better.
I agree. I'm going to have to backtrack because I just looked at my notes and I forgot one thing about college. And it's been sitting here for a minute because we did do it last week. And I wanted to know if you heard Gino Ariana's comeback to Muffet McGraw's comment about ESPN's bias towards Notre Dame and towards UConn in the rankings and things of that nature.
No, I didn't catch that one.
Well, yeah, she just basically said ESPN has a huge bias, and the voters have a huge bias when it comes to Connecticut women's basketball. Like they get benefits that, in the voters' eyes that most schools don't get because they're Connecticut. So Gino's come back a couple of days later is, yeah, there could be a bias. So what? It happens like that when you have 11 national championships to 2. And he changed the subject and went into something else.
So basically, he's saying we earned this. That's what it sounds like to me. I 11, yeah. What do you think's gonna happen? You win 11, and you'll get some biases too.
Yeah, couple chances that you had was, some of my 11.
Yeah, thanks for contributing to my 11.
Yes. So I was extremely excited about that one. That was like, ooh, and then he didn't say nothing else. It was like, yeah.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. 11-2.
Next.
All right, so back on track. This will make you exciting. Go Blue. Franz Wagner named East Rookie of the Month for December.
Nice. And why not? He came from a great background. We say over and over again, it's just a great institution for learning all things. Because obviously we contribute to the world in more ways than sports. But it's just a great institution of learning. So not surprised, never am surprised when I see a Michigan alum do something great in whatever genre or business or humanitarian or whatever it is. It's just not surprising to me.
I'm extremely excited about it. I thought it was a good fit for him in Orlando. A lot of young talent. A lot of good young people coming out of that draft this year because I think they got Jalen Suggs down there too from Gonzaga. They got a little young core down there. And Franz is doing pretty well. 19 and a half, 5 rebounds, 3 assists a game. That's pretty good for a rookie.
Yeah.
So,
and there's no expectations. That's the other part.
0 expectations. You're not a Cade Cunningham where we're expecting you to turn Detroit around. Right. They're expecting you to be a part of some shit to change.
Hey, but I got
Orlando
some news
around.
on Detroit. When you want to hear it now,
we brought it up. Go with it.
Bowl, finalizing the trade to Detroit for Rodney Magruder and a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah, all right. That sounds
what do you feel like? Do you feel like I want him to be good and he's very athletic for his size, but unfortunately I see injury bug in his future the more he plays. Like, if he keeps it 10, 15, like, he doesn't really log in a lot of minutes. But if he gets to that 15, 20, 25 a game, unfortunately, just due to his frame, like, it's going to be difficult.
No disrespect to his dad, Manute Bol. I enjoy watching him. Not a very skilled player. but you can't really not keep 7-7 off the floor.
Right. He was skilled in what he needed to be skilled
what he needed to do. Yeah, I enjoy watching Manute because it was fun seeing him and Muggsy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
the contrast.
The contrast, yes. But I look at Bobo. I saw him at the like 3 games at Oregon, and I've seen him in the league. He's got a tremendous upside, but I think he's not going to be absolutely nothing. I don't. I mean, you're not getting. I don't. For one, I think one of the things at Oregon, your work ethic was questioned. So I think that was an issue. One, and you can see it now. I put him in the category of Taco Falls. You're a novelty. You're a novelty to the NBA. Go make your money while you can.
You're like a fan favorite, right?
Yeah. You're not like when he was in like Taco was in Boston. He'd get in the game. You know what I mean? The fans go nuts. Yay! And he does absolutely nothing. Unlike TJ McConnell, who is a fan favorite, and you could tell that the Pacers are missing him.
Yeah. Oh, we could talk about. I'm ready to talk about that too.
And we get to them in a minute. Hey, what is up, Big Ben? I see you hanging out, my good friend. Nice to see you over on the ball side. Appreciate the basketball side. That sounded really bad.
You could have talked about the Ball family.
Yeah, and he's got let's go Sixers. We'll get to them in a minute too, because Joel Embiid, boy, that's my guy. I'm like, he might be coming close to being like my favorite big in the league right now, man. I like Joel, man. I like Joel.
Hey, this is the listeners heard it here first. I just got my results back. Your boy is negative.
Negative.
Not positive anymore.
He is negative for hatred. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to Lance too, Uncle Mark. Oh yes, because Lance make them dance. That is my God, man. I'm so happy to see Lance back. And what he have last night? 28? Was that last night's 28 or was that the game before?
It was his first night back. He had a 30-piece, but he had 20 in the first quarter. Like he said, I heard a couple of his remarks, and he was like, he just felt the energy from the fans, and he just couldn't. He went back to making them dance.
He's making them dance in them and ones, buddy.
And dropping dimes.
He was dropping dimes. Like I think last night he had 8 assists in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think he ended up with 14 and Sabonis with the 42 on Utah. Hey, now I don't want him to get too excited because
Andre Drummond is 14 assists, Uncle Mark said. Andre Drummond. Only thing we're going to talk about Andre Drummond is the fact that he dated your girl from iCarly. That is all we got for Andre Drummond.
Yeah. I didn't even know. Is he still in the league? I know he always killed the Pacers. The Pacers. He always averaged like 30 boards against us. But
I just feel he needs to get out of Detroit, man. Ain't know where he at, Detroit?
Last I heard. That's what I'm saying. I'm not even sure if he's still there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? This poor guy. Because he could give you, he can give you a solid double-double in the paint, man.
I know, but the game is kind of passing his skill set by.
Well, yeah, because you're not dominant. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do that,
solid and not athletic enough, I guess. Really,
like if you got to do that, you got to move. He's in Philly. What the hell? Andre Drummond's in Philly.
Yeah.
I'd stop paying attention. It's all about Joel Embiid and how they just silenced Ben Simmons altogether. But let's stay back on track. Right. So the exciting news that we had, and he has been there all year. Now that you say that, I do remember, but it's like when they were losing, when Ben was out, that was a time for him to do something, and he hadn't really been doing anything. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of easy to forget about him, except for Sam on iCarly. But anyway, so the excitement things that we had this weekend, we had the return of some players. You had Kyrie come back this week and had a pretty good game against the Pacers in a comeback win. Pacers are great for 3 quarters. And then the fourth quarter, they're going to give you everything that you need to win a game. And then tonight, we got the turn of your guy.
Yes, Clay.
The other half of the
Splash Brothers will be reunited tonight at 8:00. I'm excited to see that game. And I just want to see how it works out with Kyrie. To be honest, I didn't think it'd take a half for him to get back into the flow, but he sure got back into the flow. And it makes me want to wonder, like, when he's on the court and the off the court, I always felt like the off the court will catch up. But after watching that, now granted they're playing the Pacers, I give you that, but still you had to make shots. And he made shots. So it makes me think about it. Like, can this dude be like this and then hoop out on the court and them still win a championship? Now, granted, that was a Monday night in January. So it's nothing like a, playoff game or a finals game. But for a Monday night in January, it was pretty good.
I mean, we've seen Kyrie do it. We've seen him do it before. I mean, the guys – you get the one thing you can say, you might question things that he does off the floor. You can say that about, 85% of all athletes. You might question some of the things they do off the floor. But on the floor, on the court, the guy is phenomenal. I mean, he handles the ball like he's got handles like any great point guard ever has. What I'm saying? He can shoot. I mean, it's not that. Well, I mean, I know everybody measures shooters now to Steph, but let's not take it short. Kyrie makes shots. I mean? He's a 90, 40, 50 guy. You know what I'm saying? He makes shots and he makes plays. How can you keep him off the – I mean, I think, after watching that, I know it's the Pacers, but after watching that, I kind of feel that they could probably do it.
Yeah, that's what I felt too.
With him playing just away games. Because Harden and Durant is enough to win at home.
Yeah, and the others.
Okay.
No, the others play better at home.
Yeah, they do. But we know Durant and Harden.
But just don't forget, I want more. I need more, right? So for Monday night in January, yes.
Yeah, we haven't seen more because they were at home last night, so we weren't going to see.
No, I get
it. And Durant picked up the slack.
As only he can.
That guy's nice. I mean, I was watching the game, right? Watching the game. And I'm like, Durant's on the floor. Why is Patty Mills shooting 5, 6, 7 shots in a row? I said, why don't you just give it to this guy? Let him shoot.
Yeah.
What's he do? He goes get the ball, 2 dribbles, turn around, jump shot. Bam. Please.
He does it very well. He does it very well. He puts the ball in the hole very well.
You know what I mean? And I think he's been keeping up with his personal hygiene lately. The line looked kind of, it's still patchy, but the line was kind of fresh. And his knuckles looked like they had some Jergens on them. You know what I mean? He was looking, okay. He got the memo.
Come on home. Tell him to come on home.
So we talked about Kyrie. Now let's switch over to Clay. Now we haven't seen him play yet, unless you've caught any of those G leagues.
Yeah, but I just feel like that is nothing compared. That's just like going out to the park and then playing in a college game. Difference. I'm excited to see what he can do. I obviously he's been putting up shots and that's been looking good. I think there's a clip out there with him doing 25 in a row from the corner. So. It just gets me excited. I like the fact that I don't know. I'm eager to find out. So I'm not going to put anything on him, but I'm just excited to watch. I'm excited to see the energy that his return will bring. So I want to see that as well. I want to see what Steph does because he's been in a slump here lately. So I want to know what this comeback will do to him. Once again, having these Splash Brothers reunited. So let's go. 8 o'clock can't come fast enough.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it. You know what I mean? They were a dynamic backcourt when they played. It gave a lot of freedom to Steph, and it made a lot of difficult choices for opposing coaches and defenses because, and I think I'm not so much worried about the offensive side of things because shooters shoot. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, shooters shoot. If your legs – and what happens when you get old as a player? What develops?
You start shooting more.
The jump shot develops.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You start shooting Jays way more than trying to go in or
I think my last 3 people. Yeah, I think my last 3 years was all jump shots and pull ups, maybe the turnaround jump hook. But you know what I'm saying? I feel that I feel that the hell were we just talking about? That's
Talking about
bad,
coming
D.
back
Yeah,
from
that's bad. Yeah, Clay. So
injury.
I'm not worried about his offensive side. I'm going to see him on the defensive side because this quite as cat. Clay was one of the top 5 defenders in the league on guard status before on the wing, or so to speak, before he got hurt. You know, Steph didn't have to play defense on people on the outside. He had,
but he did step it up
and
though.
he has. I'm not gonna knock him. We talk about the past.
Yeah,
we talk about the past. We're not talking about right now. You know what I mean? Steph has stepped it up in on the defensive end, but he can still be a defensive liability. But we're gonna talk about back then.
Not
you know, he wasn't the one that you couldn't isolate him. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't take advantage of him because Clay would go take that number 1 guy. Right. You know what I'm saying? And still and with him not having the dribble to do what he needed to do, it made him more effective on the offensive end. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to dribble the ball around 60 points and 11 dribbles. But
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm looking more on the defensive side of things with him wanting to go have to guard the Kevin Durant's and the Dame Lillards and those things like that Steph didn't have to guard. So
right. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. I'm sure the defense, like we say, a lot of defenses that want to. So hopefully he didn't lose that want to, and playing angles, of course.
Yeah. Who's the best shooter we'll ever see? I'm not really sure. Are you talking about Steph or are you talking about Clay? I hope he's talking about
Steph. I think that's the question for us. Who do we feel like the best shooter we'll ever see in our lifetime? Well, I can only
shooter
speak
I've
to
ever seen
is
your boy that worked at the GM plant down here, Fitz. I'm just being honest. You want to know? I've seen the guy shoot the lights out of everywhere. Butler alum, Fitzgerald, I think it was his last name. Mm-hmm. But we just called him Fitz through the neighborhood. I mean, I was a kid, you know, watching him shoot. So, I mean, when we was at Washington Park watching the Dust Bowl, and this guy come off the assembly line with the damn steel-toe boots on and drop 40 in the damn Dust Bowl game, bro, and never shot a layup. It was all jump shots. I mean, like deep. Like they didn't have markings. So just like, yeah, it's the best shooter I've seen. But if you want to go, you know, league-wise, yeah.
Yeah, league-wise is where I go because I'm not sure anybody outside the league that I've seen. Even Fitz was nice. I get it. But he wasn't playing against NBA defenses. So I kind of put the NBA shooter on a little higher pedestal. But I've personally seen on TV. Man, I want to say Clay
Larry was a killer too, man.
Yeah, Larry was a beast. He just wasn't shooting at the clip.
He didn't have to because
Steph was at 300 already.
I mean, I just think the game is different. That's why I hate comparisons. You can do it all day you want to, but the game is that you have to factor in those variables of how the game was played. You know what I mean? Just think if those guys 25, 30 years ago was shooting the 3-point game, shooting the threes the way it was right now. I mean, there were some shooters back there. There were some guys who can hit shots. Like, that's why I hate these great kind of comparisons. You know what I'm saying? If you want to loop them all together, say, hey, here are the best shooters, you know, ever in the league. I think you can do that. But it's hard to come down unless you put them all in the gym. Like you take a 1980s Larry Bird, put him with today's Steph, you know, to put him with a 90s Ray Allen, to Reggie. Put him with a late 80s early Reggie, you know what I'm saying? Put him with somebody, put him with his daddy. You know, Derek Curry could light that thing up too. There was shooters.
Pager, not Pager.
Pager was letting that thing go too.
But he wasn't who I was thinking of. I'm thinking of my guy from the Nets that passed.
Dražen Petrovic.
Yes, Petrovic. Yes.
I mean, there was guys that can shoot the ball. The game was played different. So it's hard for me to say. Now, I'm not going to knock him. Like, he's probably the best shooter. He probably is.
Hey, low
But
key,
it's hard.
why boys
Bill
forget about
Ellis.
Craig Hodges?
Craig Hodges was cash money. He was cash money.
I
And
think he's the
and
only one. I think he's the only one I could think of that was in the 3-point contest. Wasn't even in the league. He was defending his title.
Winning, cash with the warm-ups on. You know what I'm saying? The whole warm-up outfit on. Like, we just gave you a NBA warm-up. You don't even get a team. Just NBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
association.
So it's kind of hard for me to say that. I mean, I kind of feel that Steph is, but it's hard when those variables on, unless you take all of those guys, put them in the gym, and say, there you go, shoot it out. You know what I'm saying? If you take
is that how you figure it out, or do you do a gameplay? Now we getting into where does gameplay fall into?
Mullins, yeah,
lefty.
Yeah, lefty. Yeah, I mean, how do you exactly? There's so many variables that, like how we were talking earlier today when we were talking about the LeBron or the Jordan controversy, or the argument or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, don't think it's a controversy.
Controversy. I just seen.
Yeah.
But it's like you got so many variables that factor in that I'm like, if you had a computer and you had to put in all these algorithms, these are all of these numbers that you have to put in this computer before you can spit out these answers. Unless you can get Mike and Jordan, unless you can get a let's say a 29-year-old Jordan and a 29-year-old LeBron James and a 29-year-old Kobe and a 29-year-old Magic and a 29-year-old Bird and Kareem, and get him out there and play, you will never know, because you got to factor in the other 4 people on the floor. You got to factor in the other circumstances of the gameplay, like you mentioned earlier. And you got to factor in who's guarding who. Like LeBron, are you going to score that much if Mike's guarding you? Mike, are you going to score that much if LeBron's guarding you?
And then the variables, is hand checking involved, because hand checking was the rage of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, let's see. What do you say? I'll settle that. How you can LeBron be better than Jordan when he wasn't even close to Kobe?
I would just ask Big Ben, where does the records fall? Like, I know it's subjective, but really, LeBron, as the youngest to reach a lot of records, and will be the oldest player to reach a lot of records. And, God bless Kobe, but his career was over. So we have a complete knowing of his skills, or knowing a complete resume, a complete body of work. But LeBron is still out here, and he's still getting records, and that has to count for something. He may not have had that alpha dog scoring mentality, but that does not make him not the greatest. Just because he didn't score a lot or didn't have that dog, which I do feel like he developed. Now, it may not be the dog that Kobe was, but he still got dog in him.
Yeah, he's got dog in him. You know what I mean? I can't say LeBron's better. I can't say LeBron's the greatest. Can't say Mike's the greatest. I can't say anybody's the greatest. I've held fast for that. There's so many variables that you got to get. I mean, that it's, like we keep saying with the greatest list. It all comes into play. That's like ranking teams against other teams. Like, everybody thinks that the 72 win team Bulls was the best, team, ever. But why are you not counting the Boston, who won 7 straight? You know what I'm saying? Well, there's team. Why you not counting some of them Laker teams when they won 5 in the early 90s? They was running everybody out the gym when they called them a Lake Show. It's hard to do those type of things. And this one is ridiculous. Rings should never be a factor of your greatness. Robert Horry with 7. He has more than Jordan.
Because greatness is an individual thing. Rings is a team thing to a certain extent, because I do feel like you need to have minimum a superstar and a very close superstar, all-star, to win a championship.
Yeah, Robert Horry's got 7 rings. That's really all I have to say.
But he contributed to a lot of those wins too.
Never said he didn't contribute, but he has 7 rings. So if you're considering rings as an issue, then Robert Ory should be second on that list behind William Russell.
Yeah.
He's got 11, 10 as a player, 1 as a coach.
Can't
You know
beat
what I mean? So rings shouldn't ever come into factor in that. I mean, they can like sway.
Yeah, they can be a part of the formula, but not the whole formula.
Yeah. I'm lost. What you got?
So yeah, I got a couple more things. The Nuggets are talking with Boogie Cousins. He might find another spot.
Oh, I'm so shitty about that. Boogie was hooping, bro.
He still is.
I mean, why'd you take it? Why are you releasing him?
He was wanted hooping. To have. Hey, what do you want me to do, man?
I mean, I don't want you to do anything. I want you to call Milwaukee and be like, "What the hell?" You know what I'm saying? My guy is hooping. I mean, it was like, "Oh shit!" DeMarcus Cousins is getting it in, and then gone. Like, what is going on?
And I do have one more thing. How about the Bulls, man? How about them number 1 in the East?
Yep.
Nets 2 behind. I got a little something. So the Bulls in December went 9-2, and so far in January 2-0 for that 26-10 record.
I was saying something about the Bulls earlier in the season. I remember saying you might want to pay attention to the Bulls. You know what I mean? These are a couple guys that's got chips on their shoulders, and they're ready to have an opportunity. I spoke about Zach LaVine. I spoke about DeMar DeRozan because I thought both of them were in the same situation. Like, guys are very skilled, very talented, but always seem to be on the outside of those things because of their teams. You know, I know good players on bad teams, like you want to, like I was saying, LaVine's been hooping, but you put him in that category of Kevin Love. Like, are you just that good on a bad team?
Danny
Granger. Yeah, are you just that good on a bad team? But hey, man, I believed in Zach. Zach is hooping.
I think Zach developed a jump shot. When he first came in the league, his jump shot was cool, but he was more of that slasher dunker. I feel like he's definitely elevated his jump shot, and that's really what's helping him.
Well, he won the relevant. He won the COVID horse tournament. Yeah, I said it. I watched it. I watched the whole damn tournament on NBA TV. I sure as hell did. What else were we going to do? We were in the house.
We was on lockdown.
So, yeah, man, I like the Bulls. I like them. And my guy. You don't like him, but my guy was hooping before he got hurt.
Who?
The White Mamba.
Oh, you talking about
Caruso?
Yes. What are you talking about?
And they keep talking about the league. They keep talking about him in LA too. Like, was that a really good move to let him go?
I don't think that is the reason. I think it's the unfortunate injury bug with AD that hurts you more than not having Caruso.
That's fine.
And how about they let go of Rondo?
No, they didn't let him go. They traded him.
Cleveland, let him go via trade, but Cleveland creeping on the come up still.
I like Cleveland. Cleveland is going to be a team that's going to be that you're going to have to talk about in the East when it comes to the playoff race with these teams matching up. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to pay attention to Cleveland. They got a back line that is ridiculous. And now that you mention it, Kevin Love was in the game a couple games ago. Making shots.
Was a sighting. I was like, there was a Kevin Love sighting.
Listen, I can't look at Kevin Love the same way anymore after the big head commercials. You know, you remember those?
Yes.
Every time I see you, I just see this.
Yeah, that's all I got, bro.
Yeah, I mean, once you speak about Cleveland, like I was saying, they got a nice front line. You know, you got Jared Allen, you got the little rookie Woodley who's playing good. You got the two guards, Graham and Sessions is playing pretty good. Who I really like to talk about the emergence is the Timberwolves. Timberwolves are playing with the Edwards. If he can get,
Edwards needs help, and I don't know if Townsend is mentally.
He needs to get Towns together. I don't know what I think he's soft. I think he's cookie dough. You know what I mean? Because every once in a while you see like I saw some highlights the other day. He cut the ball, dribble from half court, bait the move, dunk on the dude's face. You know what I'm saying? And then the very next game, you got 12 points and 6 rebounds.
That's what I'm saying. It's I feel like it's mental. And I feel like he's been in the league long enough as well to it's sad because you see Boogie. If he has some of that Boogie in him, he'd be crazy.
And why can't Boogie get those opportunities, man? I know he was nuts at the beginning. He's mature.
Well, he's probably like 8 years younger than Boogie, though.
He's matured. He's grown. You know what I'm saying? Give him a shot.
Give Boogie a shot.
Give him a shot,
I'm
man.
Down with that.
I mean, hey, man, let's start a
I'm
petition
always going to be
Twitter.
down with your bigger, more traditional centers. I'm definitely, because that is a dying breed right now as far as in the league. So I'm definitely down with Boogie, even though he does got the jumper as well.
2 things left that we got. One, I want to talk about the Pacers. But first, let's dive into the fact that, since we mentioned it earlier, let's dive into the fact of what LeBron has been doing over the last ridiculous
12
days for a 37-year-old man.
Yeah,
just like
breaking records.
I think him and Tom Brady are on 2 different planes.
Yeah, they might have came from the same planet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure if it was from here.
I mean, yeah, whatever the planet was, astral was, I don't know, but they're not from here. I mean, Andromedus from Krypton and some shit. But I mean, I'm just Brady of what, 44, 42.
44. He's
44.
77, yeah.
Yeah. Goddamn, you young son bitch. You young old bastard. Old young bastard. But yeah, you got him in his 40s, LeBron in his late 30s, doing things that there's only been one other person that played that in the NBA just played like LeBron has at this age, and that was Kareem. And that was because he had to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But he was still doing it. There's a reason why he's got 38,000 points.
Right. And I bet Kareem was eating right and yogaing and martial art. Like he did things for his time that were it was still out and it was still known, about taking care of your body. So
yeah, he was Muslim, so he wasn't eating no damn pork. Hell, I kind of think Kareem was vegan.
Maybe.
Can't really say for sure. Or vegetarian. Well, yeah, vegan's extreme. I'm going to just go with vegetarian because you can dabble with a little fish every now and then. But the end result is it's phenomenal what he's doing. I think over the last 6 or 7 games, he's averaging, 32 points, just under 10 rebounds, just under 10 assists.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah,
that's pretty phenomenal.
He's doing it. And
37. I think I stopped dunking with velocity. I mean, with vigorous aggression and nice floating height. We'll say around 30, 31. And then it became the old Reggie Miller dunk. You know, that one where you just
throw it in.
I can still dunk. Do one of them. Yeah, no temp dunks, none of that. Probably about 31 was probably the last consistent. This dude, we watched the game last night. This dude, or the night before, this dude, 37, still at the rim like this. yeah, this is crazy to me.
Freak of nature, man. Freak of nature.
And let's talk about the Indiana Pacers. That should be a good way to end the show.
All right. Well, definitely. So Lance did get signed through the rest of the year. It never ceases to amaze me how he will play on many different teams and be sad, but come to Indiana and he balls. Like it's something under the field house that just speaks to him and he just balls out. I like the energy, like I said, that he brought. Sabonis and him are playing well together. I still, I don't want him to get too excited though. I still would love to have a top 5 pick. We haven't had one in the 80s, Rick Smits. So I'm definitely still want that. Like I'm a fan that still will be a fan even with them losing because it gives us opportunity for have a chance to get a franchise player.
How do you feel how the season will go towards the end once all of these pieces are back in play? Now I'm counting everybody but TJ Warren. Brogdon comes back,
I just hope,
LeVert comes back.
I hope that it goes. I hope they get a top 5 pick in the league, and that's what I want. That's what I want. What I think is they'll mess around and maybe hit the playoffs, and once again, 10, 11, 12, 14 pick. Like, I could see that happening because, unfortunately, that's the way we've been for the past 30 years is 13, 14, 15, one finals appearance. Oh, and that was with our top 5 pick, Rick Smith.
Uh-oh, I just saw something I didn't like. I'm at to go back. I just saw something that said Jim Harbaugh. I don't know if I like it or dislike it because I'm never the same. I'm going to be a fan with or without, regardless. I think he's vetting coordinators. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's vetting coordinators to replace or go to.
I think one of our coordinators did take another job.
Yeah. I think was it a coordinator or a position coach?
Say that again.
I think it was a coordinator or position coach. I don't know. I don't remember. I just saw some flash and I went to hit it and it took me to ESPN, Tom Brady, and that's not what I wanted to read about. But with the Pacers, it's such a struggle, man, to watch them because they're giving you 3 quarters of great basketball. I mean, they're playing excellent basketball, and then the fourth quarter comes. And it's a wrap.
That's just knowing how to win. You got to know how to win. And most NBA games come down to the last 5-6 minutes of the game, as long as it's somewhat close. And then that team that just knows how to win or has that superstar usually takes over.
I mean, you can't continue to let these opportunities go by just terribly. Like Sabonis is 42, and Sabonis is 40-point triple-double a couple of weeks ago, or 30-point triple-double a couple of weeks ago. Then which is in a loss. You got, Miles Turner with a 33 and 15 game, and you lose that game too. You can't keep getting these great games from players, and we're losing these games. You know what I mean? Like if a player scores points in the game, you should be able to be somewhere where having a shot to win that game, not losing by 8, 9, 10 points. That's just, so I think there's something that has to go. I think that the injuries will have a problem with it when they come back because Malcolm Brogdon is a guy who takes care of the ball, makes good decisions, makes good shots. Karis LeVert is a playmaker. But if they're, in and out of the lineup, you can't really get a cohesive thing going on. You know what I mean? Karis is trying to get himself back in after his health issue, and then you got the COVID injury.
Hey, did you hear LeVert don't like it here? Did you hear that?
I did not. And if you don't like it here, go on about your business. Go blue.
Right. I just feel like it's sad that athletic, which is what we've been lacking, is that athleticism wing, and we finally get one, and they don't like it here. Just another player that can't wait to get out of Indy.
Well, there's a reason why they don't like it here.
There's multiple reasons.
Bad place to be.
There's multiple reasons. It's not just one.
They feel it because they feel that you can't win here. They feel that you can't win here. That's how I see it.
You know 13, 14, 15,
you've had superstars here and you can't win. We've had stars here, but you just cannot win. You can't keep them. They leave as soon as they get an opportunity. So something has to be said. Well, we know it's not the city because we keep drawing more and more big-time events. You know what I mean?
There's but not
people
players,
who want to come here.
Just events.
But not players.
To watch the game. Well, they come here to watch.
Well, we get players for basketball. We don't get players for basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't.
What's the last primetime player we got in the NFL? Don't say Wentz and don't say Rivers because they were all over the hill. And what's the name?
For one, I will never, ever in 1,100,000 years say Wentz. Because I was all on that shit at the beginning of the season. whole different show. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I mean, they might not bring them in Indianapolis. They draft them and they stay. The difference is the Pacers might get them in trade, might find a gym they might get them in trade, might find a gym in the draft, and then soon as that gym starts to shine and can lead a team or be a piece to draw some people in, y'all don't do it right and they leave and go somewhere else.
Yep. They don't spend the money, man. Just say it out loud. They don't spend the money.
No, they don't want to win. It ain't even the money. You don't want to win. If you want to win, you spend the money. So it comes down to winning and losing. You like being mediocre. You like bringing back mediocre ass coaches. You know
like
what I mean?
Just good enough to get some
shit.
people in the stands just to make that money and to stay underneath the salary cap.
So I vote we get rid of the Simons, bring in new ownership, and change the shit around.
Yeah, somebody wants to really, really invest in winning.
Yeah, let's win. You know what I mean? Not just to change the name of the stadium every 3 years. Just win. That's all I got, bro.
All right, man. Eye of the Storm. I do got something for Eye of the Storm. Just want to give heartfelt condolences to all the people that lost friends or family members in the fire in the Bronx. It was like 19 people had passed away. And unfortunately, 9 of the 19 were children. So that was a very sad event that went on today. Big alarm fire. So thoughts and prayers out to their family. Make sure we're doing everything at your current house to prevent fires, because once they start, it's crazy. I know Uncle Mark can attest to that, being a fireman. So, yeah, that's it from Big Storm.
Only you can prevent forest fires. That was a bad joke. I know. That's the only thing that popped in my head when you said only you can prevent. That's the whole this big ass bear. But yeah, take care of yourselves. And I want to piggyback on that because I saw a tragedy last evening, and I was scrolling my TikTok. You know, I don't believe social media a whole lot. I saw a very gruesome video of a side of a mountain falling on a boat. You know, I blew by it like, you know, another Photoshop type deal, on the social media sites like that. When I opened up my phone this morning, I found out that 7 people lost their lives from that accident. A side of a mountain fell on a boat, a couple boats in Brazil. So once again, you know, life is short. You know what I mean? You never know when it's coming to call you home. So live your life like it's the last day.
Because it very much can be.
You know what I mean? Smile. You know, laugh. You know what I mean? Have fun. You know, live it. Don't stress on the bullshit. You know what I mean? Bullshit comes and goes, but your life is here once. So that's what we got today. To start. Oh, we got an announcement. Checkers and Wreckers is coming back after a year hiatus from the show. I know Sean has been doing the racing scene over on the iRacing with the Checkers and Wreckers TV. That's cool, but the actual show, Checkers and Wreckers, is coming back to the paddock. The first show will be this Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I think my time is right. Sean's bringing in a new guest. I mean, a new host, co-host. We have a new person here on the network. We actually had him on the football show a couple weeks ago, Mr. Weiss. He is the source, is what we call him. We get a lot of football, college source information from him, but he is going to be in the paddock with Tommy Boy and Checkers and Wreckers starting this Tuesday. So make sure you guys jump on in that and check that thing out. And for anything else that we have here going on at the network, just hit us up on the website, BWSPORTS1.com, or you can get with us at info.bwsports@gmail.com. You know, that kind of stuff. Last thing. Lance loves it here, but might have a screw loose. He's from Brooklyn. Of course, he's got a damn screw loose.
And I'll even go on the limb and say multiple screws.
I mean, what grown man blows in another grown man's ear? Just like, hey,
yeah,
buddy.
That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
Like, what are you doing, man? Let's make him dance. Those you guys. So, Big Storm, the one, BW Sports One, State of Basketball. We are out. Enjoy your week. Holla at you next week.
Peace.